The other thing that we're going to see, it's a chance for two of the best edge rushers to be on the same field together, best in the league. Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett. Parsons talked about that matchup with Myles Garrett.
I think this is it starts from week one. I know Miles is going to go out there and try to get on Guyton a little bit, but at the end of the day, I always love competition. So, I felt that even when we played the Rams and Donald, I feel like if Donald had 2 sacks, I need 2 sacks. Just because it's just a competitive spirit. We kind of both know where we are. Garrett's one of my favorite rushers. Him and Max Crosby is kind of like my two guys that I be like just so freaking like gifted. But man, it's going to be exciting to play against them. This is my first time in Cleveland. Well, besides the draft. But just to be playing down there, to see their environment is going to be exciting.
What do
Guyton
you
talked about
appreciate
how
about
his
Miles's game? What do you appreciate about Miles's game?
Man, one thing I always love about a rusher is like, how do you rush? Even when your rushers aren't good or you feel like you're off your game. And he's one of the more relentless. Him and Miles are just relentless, man. They don't care where they at. Miles is like me, man. You know, he has such a great acceleration, his power, strength, and length. I mean, which makes him like exceptionally. It's like ridiculous, and I just think, man, outside of just a great football player, he's a great person.
G-Bush, it certainly sounds like Mike Parsons is going to be motivated. I'm hoping Myles Garrett feels the same way. Chance to show you're the best.
Yeah, because this is a game, and Micah Parsons is, it's almost kind of like defenses don't go against defenses, so you see in the league a lot of people are congratulatory on the same side of the football. Quarterbacks give quarterbacks praise because you don't have to go against those quarterbacks, right? Your defense has to do it. So Micah Parsons, comparing his game to him, it's going to be one of the best. I think the best two pass rushers in the game. The speed, the quickness, the agility. As a former guy who played defensive end, it's just crazy to see, how the evolution of those guys is now, where guys are running that fast, that strong, and the flexibility to bend and run hoops and stuff like that, and just to bend around the corner to get to quarterbacks. But in this game, for me, I think that, we kind of forget a little bit. Myles Garrett is actually, for a defensive player of the year, kind of went under the radar. We haven't seen very much of him in the offseason. He won the Defensive Player of the Year award, but so far the Cleveland Browns as a defense hasn't been on the field that much. Greg Newsome, Dalvin Tomlinson, Maurice Hurst, Shelby Harris. Some of those guys have been banged up a little bit. Denzel Ward missed a lot of time with a concussion, and so Zadarius Smith was injured. You missed a lot of those guys getting back on field to see them play together. But I think this is a football game. When you look at the matchup, this is a game that the Cleveland Browns at home, in front of that crowd, they want to make their imprint on the game. And if the Dallas Cowboys are one-dimensional, which I think they will have trouble running the football, if they're one-dimensional, it's going to be a very long day in terms of pass rush for the Cleveland Browns, or for the Dallas Cowboys, because Cleveland Browns will get after them with the pass rush. But I think this is a game where, if the offense starts slow because they haven't been all together, offense is always going to be a little bit behind defense. This is a game that the Browns have to say to themselves, hey, while our offense is getting up and moving, hey, why don't we take the football away? Why don't we make it very difficult for them to score and make them kick field goals and keep them off the board? Because I think that will be the key to the Browns' win, is them stifling the Dallas Cowboys, not rather than the Cleveland Browns coming out overpowering and going in and doing a shootout.